What's going on, Guardians? It's Tizzle here, and in this video I wanted to talk to you about the future of my channel and my content going forward. A lot of you have discovered me through my solo GM content and specifically the commentary that I bring, and many of you have said that it helps you a lot to either become better at the game, to understand a certain GM better thanks to spawn triggers or whatever else, or even that I inspired you to solo your first GM, or maybe it was a dungeon. Point is, a lot of my content centers around being a solo player, and truth be told, I do like playing this game solo. But one thing that comes with my content is a lot of time and work behind the scenes testing different strats, and specifically with solo GMs, a lot of deaths. This past week, I tried soloing the new Inverted Spire GM and I died like 40 minutes into one stupid mistake. I peeked a lane at the wrong time and I got sniped. That is 40 minutes down the drain. But then if I keep dying before I can get the completion, then you will never see that content. What this amounts to is a lot more of me playing the game rather than making content. And that is all well and good, as I do enjoy playing the game, but I also enjoy bringing you useful and informative videos. So I watched Kier Plays solo the new GM Battleground Behemoth, and I watched Esoteric's runs of the new Arms Dealer and Inverted Spire. And I noticed something. Bungie is making GMs a lot longer. There's a reason you saw me run so many Birthplace GMs, because it's a wonderful testing ground for builds, and at the end of the day, my favorite thing to do in Destiny is make fun, unique, and ultimately powerful builds. I get no enjoyment in running Consecration Titan for every activity. I want to try out all the things this amazing sandbox has to offer. When I hopped into the Inverted Spire GM, I put on my old reliable build of Necrotic Grip with Anarchy. When Kier Plays did his solo of the new GM Behemoth, he had on Rhymecoat Raiment. I don't want to be a slave to the meta, but when I look at the current slate of GMs on the node, they are all long for the sake of being long, with the exception of the Corrupted, as that's going to be extremely easy thanks to Prismatic. But the others, they harken back to the old school days of GMs, where to solo them, it's more a test of endurance than skill. I know I could solo those GMs, but I know it would be a tremendous time sink for me, and I am not a naturally patient person. I'm impatient in real life, and I've had to learn and practice patience in Destiny, for when I don't, I often just die. Dying in a team GM is really no big deal, but dying solo is a huge deal. It starts the run over. I made a video earlier in the season about how soloing Lightblade made me want to stop soloing GMs, and it was kind of true. I had the strats down to a T, but dying to one unlucky mistake was just getting really old. I have so much content that I want to make and not a lot of time to do it. I am swimming with video ideas, but rather than getting those videos out, I always get bogged down in getting footage for other build ideas or spending hours and hours trying to solo a difficult GM. Back when I first soloed a GM, I did it because I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. No other reason. And then when I first soloed Conqueror in Season of the Seraph, again, it was to prove to myself that I could do it. I now have over 50 solo GMs and like 19 unique ones. I have nothing left to prove to myself. And in that time of soloing GMs and becoming a better player, I think I have proved to my audience that I know what I'm talking about. I think I've gained your trust so that when I say something is good, it truly is. And I try to give reasoning behind why it's good, but I don't need to solo a GM to prove something is powerful. So in the future, I'm not going to keep doing the solo commentaries unless I feel like it. Unless it's an easier solo that I know won't be a time sink. I have nothing left to prove anymore. I know I can do it and it's just a matter of time, but frankly, I don't have that time to waste. As I said, I have so much helpful content that I want to bring you, so spending my time beating my head against the wall to get a solo GM out is just not worth it. I could be using that time to make videos that help you better understand the game. I may do commentaries with a team and talk about the team dynamic of the GM, as this will still help you to learn, but it will allow me to get a video out that much quicker and use a more fun off-meta build while doing so. So Tizzle, what's the rush? Why can't you make videos you want to make and the solo GM videos? Well, I would like to have a life outside of Destiny, but on top of that, I will be covering Monster Hunter Wilds when it comes out in March. So I want to crank out as many useful Destiny videos as I can before then, as I will then be pivoting at least for a couple months. But it could also be indefinite, who knows? I loved Monster Hunter Wilds when it came out in 2018, and I also played Iceborne back in 2020 or 2021 when I got my PC. I also played the beta for Wilds, and I'm super excited to try my hand at a different game. It also suits my playstyle a lot. The game has a huge skill ceiling, tons of build crafting, many weapons to master, and I could do solo monster hunt commentaries instead of solo GM commentaries. Provided I get good enough at the game, that is. But if Destiny has taught me anything, it's that as long as I care enough, I will put in the work to become a better player. Like I said, I'm happy with my skill level in Destiny. I don't have anything to prove to myself anymore. I know I could low man raids and solo any GM, but I don't really care to. My goal now is to make content on YouTube to share that knowledge with the rest of you. And to do that, I have to play the game less and focus on YouTube more. And that brings me to another point. I recently made a community post saying I want to start a channel membership. But starting a channel membership and then switching games is a pretty shitty thing to do. You guys follow me for Destiny content, not Monster Hunter content. So I wanted to be transparent with you all about the channel direction going forward. By no means are any of you obligated to become a member to support me financially. You watching my videos is more than enough support. But yeah, sadly, life is expensive, so it is a route I may go down and at least try. And the same goes for sponsorships. I've steered clear of them because I don't feel they add anything to my videos. But in the future, if it is a product I believe in, then I will probably do an ad in my videos. Don't hate me, I'm just trying to make a living as best I can. And speaking of making a living off YouTube, I don't really know what the future holds after March. MTash switched games to Genshin Impact and more or less quit Destiny altogether. I may fall in love with Monster Hunter Wilds like I did with Destiny 2 and never be back. I can't say for sure. While I like to think I would come back because I still do enjoy Destiny, I just can't say one way or another. I've always just followed my heart and done what I enjoy. It's why I started making Destiny content in the first place. It's why I started soloing GMs as well. And if Glad has proved anything, it's that staying true to yourself is always the best way to do things. Sure, he grew a following with Destiny, but then he pivoted to variety. I don't really watch Twitch, but I do follow him on Twitter, and by all accounts, he's doing very well for himself. Many of you said I seem like a genuine person, and I like to think I am. I'm always going to do things my way, and some people may not like that, but I don't need to appeal to everyone. I'm glad enough of you do enjoy my style and my content. And like I said, I want to keep making content that I enjoy, and that means having to prioritize certain videos over others, meaning the solo GMs will be going away for a while, and I'll be focusing on other educational and informative videos. And one more thing, a lot of you were very supportive in my community post about me being robbed. So just a quick note on that. I moved in with my girlfriend in May, and we built a garage over the summer and fall. In that time, I had a storage unit rented for garage stuff. So in November, we finally went to empty it, only to discover a different lock on the unit. We talked to the people who run the place, and they came and grinded the lock off, and when we opened it, much of our stuff was missing. My snowboard, including all the things like my jacket, pants, boots, helmets, goggles, gloves, etc., it was all gone. My girlfriend's snowboard stuff as well. A pressure washer and an air compressor, and I also ski, so my ski boots and poles were also taken. It really fucking sucked. Thousands of dollars worth of stuff just gone. And I didn't buy any insurance either because it seemed like a secure compound and it was only for a few months. But yeah, it wasn't like I was mugged or our home was raided. My girlfriend and I are fine, albeit we were and are quite upset about it. But yeah, thanks for your support. And speaking of support, another thing that changed is I got my new PC and I want to stream more. I've actually really enjoyed the few times I've streamed and I look forward to doing it more often. But again, that is time that I am normally trying to solo GMs, so now I'll probably hop on stream and just do other stuff like maybe team GMs with fun builds I want to try. This gives you a first look at the builds I'm cooking up. As you may have noticed, it takes me a long time to crank out build videos because I really like to test them out in as much content as I can before I make a build video on them. I put it through the paces before I give it my stamp of approval. This means I get far lower views than I should because I could just crank out some slop and say it's the best thing ever the day after a season releases. But I like to be extremely thorough in everything I do. But if I'm streaming, then you get to have a first-hand look at the build long before it becomes a video. And I think that's pretty cool. So thanks to all of you who have watched me on YouTube, and if Twitch is your preferred platform, then follow me at itstizzle7 to watch me live. I hope to be playing Iron Banner on stream, so come watch that if you want to see a PvE player mess around in PvP. But yeah, that's about it. I just wanted to thank you all for the support over this last year especially. My channel really blew up and it's a dream come true. And it's all thanks to your support. And that is the reason I even have to make a video like this. I always want to do right by my audience, so I thought you deserved to know what 2025 will be looking like on this channel. And if you want to stick around and watch me, then just know it means the world to me. And if you're still watching this video, then thanks so much for listening to me ramble. I have some awesome video ideas cooked up and I can't wait to share them with you, even if that means you won't be getting more of the same content that you've come to expect. I really do think you'll like my future videos though. I'm very excited to make them. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.